Good evening, everyone. Welcome to TGB1. This is rounds 12 and 13 here in the United States and Brazil. Right, first race then, wet qualifying. Will Murdoch, currently the quickest of the runners. Matt just behind though, and Softy in third, starting to return to form. I am in a party with a selection of drivers today, so the voices you hear will be drivers taking part. 6 minutes to go. Let's keep an eye out on the times at the top.
Wets are still slower.
Yeah.
Have you guys set good laps in yet, or are you still on? Is the track drying up?
Well, 7.
I wouldn't say it's great, but it's alright.
That Will guy's quick. First qualifying.
Yeah, where'd you find it from?
He has to join last week. I think he is a driver from the speed team.
Oh, okay.
Da 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 da.
Jack up to 4th? No way.
Chap Pearson, 4th place, dizzy heights. I know what you're all thinking. Don't say it. Corner cutting.
Oh no. We're live on air, please do not swear.
Heavy rain will pass in 5 minutes.
Oh, bit late.
Look at mine at Dan's and Aiden's time.
God's sake.
And right now. Jesus. All done a 1:46.1.
Matt crosses the line, goes quickest, finds a 10th over Will. Goes to the top spot, championship leader, showing he's still the man to beat. And E-Boy's on a lap.
Second, turn 3.
P4. I'm on a lap.
John is P4, Dan's on a lap. Entertainment hour. Let's see if Dan can keep it on the track. Yellow flag in sector 3. Jamie Day calling it a day. In PA at the moment. Not bad, not bad.
That's fun. Was that intentional?
Yes, it was.
Annoyingly, I'm going quicker, but I ain't got the tyres. Fuel. Also, I've just made a mistake.
Oh, I hate this corner.
The rush to get back to the pits, change the tyres, go out for the last round, it's going to dry up, so it's going to get quicker.
Can Dan improve on P12? He goes third!
Whoa.
What? Where did that
My
come
God.
from?
I only improved by 6/10, so it must be incredibly close.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's close.
45.5 for third. 45.9
Yeah, I'm
for
on
9.
45.6 is this.
6/10
If you
separate
get
third
5
down to
seconds,
12th.
Yeah. If you get 5 seconds or 5/10s, you're up there.
Oh, I'm not going to get another lap in.
See, this is annoying. I'm going quicker, but I think it's best to pit.
Will find Softy at turn 1. Oh, shouldn't have lost him too much time.
I feel like Verstappen the other day.
Yeah, I'm going to pit.
Am I still improving?
I think it's the right call, but it's going to be very close.
Would you still say it's intermediate tyres? Still the same, yeah? It's not too
Yeah.
wet or anything.
No, it's getting drier.
Might be getting dry.
It's definitely getting drier.
Weather reports. Light rain in around 2 minutes. I've blown this massively.
I don't think I'm actually going to get out in time.
Left it very late, John. Are you still coming out the pit lane?
Leaving now, I don't think it's going to be on time. –
Very tight between third down to 13th then. 10
no,
places.
I'll make it.
But 8/10
make
of the
it.
gap from first to third. Softy and John is with the exact same that time, I think. Oh, sorry, no. 300s between them. The 8 and the 5s look very similar.
I think Will's on a lap.
Yeah, you better hurry the fuck up.
Will around the final corner.
I was Aiden, for fuck's sake.
Will
Gene.
crosses the line. And goes quickers. 3/10s faster than Matt.
Language, sorry.
Absolute screamer from Will. Matt is on that lap. Softy starting his quick lap. John as Jack, Josh and Phil all racing around trying to get to the flag in
look at
time.
this. Everyone on an outlap. I'm just going to fall down the order here. Look, I'm just,
Might be drying up. Softy's got traffic ahead. Not an issue though. Both of them out of the way.
Taking the short route.
Softy just 800ths of a second. Sorry, 8,000ths of a second off Dan's time in P3. Dan is done in qualifying. Got his lap in early. But it's so tight from third down to 13.
Wrong there.
It's a dry race, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try race. All the way.
Brilliant.
Oh, the Ferrari's gone out. It's Will. What's he doing?
Down to Matt. Surely no one else behind those two will be challenging that lap time.
I know Matt's on an outlap too.
Oh, he's slowing Matt down here.
Softy's very squiggly through these corners. Aiden goes fifth. It's so tight
Well,
between
John's
third,
made
fourth,
it. I
fifth
don't
and
think Matt's
sixth.
Is Matt going to make it? Yeah, Matt's just
Yeah,
made it
made
with
it.
a second
Matt's
to go.
just got across the line.
Mike just missed. Oh no, Mike
I've
crashed.
messed up.
Softy, can he improve on P4? Can he get Dan? Oh, it's very squiggly, and he stays fourth. Martin's not made it. Aiden will have another lap. Jonas will get his lap in. It's so tight between third downwards, and Jonas has gone wide. And he's got his teammate ahead of him. That's going to be it for Jonas, I think. So surely it's all on to Matt now. Can he find the 4/10 he needs to get ahead of Will? Drivers completing their final laps now.
Here comes James. I'd watch James.
Around the final two corners. Can the Alfa Romeo Sauber driver get into the top 10? Everyone starts on clean, dry tyres, of course, because of qualifying. James goes third. What a lap! He beats Dan off top spot.
Well, it's my teammate, so.
Aiden, John, Jack and Josh all could still improve. John looked out of shape in sector 1 though, so he might not be challenging the lap times.
Not sure what Jack's doing. Look at Jack, where's he going? Oh, he's on the wall.
And Jack's out of qualifying. Matt could get traffic, or is that? I think it's actually just John's ahead. I think he should be okay. 4 more drivers to complete laps. Matt, Aiden, Jonas and Jack. Jack keeping well out of the way, and Matt almost loses the back end, and he has lost it, and that's it for him, I think. He lost the car at the second to last corner.
Oh, he's just beat James.
Aiden goes third, but Matt will stay second, and there he goes, off into the wall. He won't be improving, so now I think it's just Josh left on the track. Josh is out. Lost the front wing on that Toro Rosso. And that is qualifying done.
Oh God. You've pissed off Will already there, Dan.
What, me? What?
Yeah. Language, apologies.
What did I do?
Will's on pole then, 3/10 the gap.
Track.
3/10 the gap ahead of Matt, but it's a second back to the rest. But look how tight it is from third downwards. Just 5/10 between third down to 11th.
What's really annoying, if I actually did that lap that I backed out off, I probably would have been about 4th or 5th. Well, 3rd or 4th actually, looking at that. Because I was behind Aiden on his fastest lap and he was so slow, but it felt he was so slow, but obviously you just kept it tidy.
Into the race then. Dry race here in America. The clouds have disappeared. The rain's gone away. And we're all set for a dry American Grand Prix. One of the hardest turn ones on the calendar. The deceptive turn up the hill. Let's see if any drivers are caught out here in America. You guys expecting good results?
No.
Well, we'll see what happens.
High hopes from Martin. I think one of you guys will make the podium. And it won't be Jonas.
I don't know.
Thrown out there.
What tyres to start on? To start on softs.
Oh, I am.
Split strategies then.
I think Softy's on softs, if that's him in front of me. The Mercedes behind me's on ultras. The Toro Rosso's both on super softs. So I said soft because, you know, red.
Here we go then. American Grand Prix, let's hope it's a clean turn one. Lights out, and away we go. Will and Matt leading from the front. Aiden getting involved well. And look at that, Sauber loses their front wing. It could be a Ferrari 1-2 at this rate. Matt down to third already. Aiden gets the jump on Matt and takes P2. Brilliant stuff from the Ferrari driver. All the drivers snaking through these corners. But it's Will who does lead from the front. Aiden second, Matt third, Jack in fourth. Phil up to 8th from P15 on the grid. Great start for him. But so far, so clean. Down the mountain to 5th. He's jumped his teammate. Up to 4th now, in fact. And Matt and Dan make contact.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh dear, sorry Matt.
Dan makes a meal of that.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, and you've just completely broken my wing as well.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, I have to pay, you know.
Still a Ferrari 1-2. Aiden pushing Will hard here. Has the pace around America. Jack into third. Great start for him. John is fourth. And Matt down a 5th behind his title rival.
Mudge has just taken out Mike.
So while the title rivals continue to battle,
Jack's very slow.
Jack's losing time. Lack of grip here.
I think he's got wing
In fact,
damage.
I think Jack might be pitting. He does. He pits from P3. And now we're going to see the two title rivals, Jonas and Matt. First and second. Going toe to toe into turn one on the second lap. And there's a Toro Rosso of Josh just behind the pedal, so they've got to be careful. Does Matt get into turn one? Toro Rosso getting racy behind. But Matt's still hanging on to 4 for now, trying to fight Jonas for third. 4 seconds the gap from the top two. Back to these now. The Ferraris are pulling away the pace. A little slower behind as they fight for track position. And Dan, after all that, is in 7th. James now pitting. In fact, we've got 4 cars in the pit lane. Dan the man, what happened?
Just totally outbroke yourself at this corner. I might be able to do it again. Oh, Jesus.
Well, let's not spectate Dan. Let's stay off Dan's car.
It's alright. It's alright. I survived. And so did everyone else.
DRS will be coming into play on the next lap.
Jane,
Hello.
what tyre are you on?
Super soft.
Matt looks for a way past Jonas. These two, first and second in the championship, as I said, fighting for third on the track here. They're both 4 seconds back to the Ferraris. The Ferraris leading 1-2 here. Fantastic for the pair of them. And Matt looking for a move up the inside. Can he make it stick here? This would be fantastic. He can't at the moment. He's carrying so much more pace than Jonathan. Surely it's a matter of time. Will he go up the inside into the final corner? He won't. He'll wait. DRS, as I said, will come into play now.
This is why I'm really slow. I'm having to defend from them. I've just lost a whole second to Aiden.
Josh still just behind. Softy joining the fight too, so it's very close. And look at this into turn one. Jonas defends. Matt will look to cut back, go up the inside. And is he going to get him here? The two of them side by side.
Yep, just, you know.
Oh, Jonas taps him. Jonas taps him. Spins him round. Clumsy from Jonas. And Matt's off into the wall. Sure, the stewards will be looking at that one.
That. Never look at that one because I just. There's nowhere I could go because I was already sliding.
Well, it's not the first time Jonas has clashed with a title rival. It happened in TGV cars last season with Owen. Now Josh looking to pounce on Jonas for P4. Softy, in fact, got into third after all that. Fantastic for Softy. But this continues to allow the Ferraris to pull clear at the front. Now Jonas getting racy with Softy.
Around the outside of Jamie.
Martin into P8. 4 cars all so close for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. It's Softy who leads this quartet at the moment. And look at that, in fact there's 2 more cars joining at the back. Jamie and Martin keeping with these drivers. Paul too, sorry. As Dan makes the first of the pit stop from the front runners. Favourites for the constructors, Jonathan Martin for Force India. On board with Martin now in P8, behind Paul and Jamie. Martin gets close to the Renault driver, but can't quite get through yet. Lots of battles throughout this field. Jamie will also get DRS, so could be a little tricky for Martin, but if he saved the ears, which we can see he has, and Jamie very squiggly out here. Surely this is Martin's best chance so far to get back ahead of Jamie into P7. Look at this, through he goes. Nothing Jamie can do about that. He brakes a little later though, but Martin should have it covered on the inside. And if Martin defends the inside here, he doesn't need to. He takes P7 and into a higher position. 2 more points. That could be crucial come the end of the season.
Can't believe the one time you live stream with other people, you go and cause accidents. Where are you, James?
13.
Up next for Martin, it's Paul. He senses P6 could be his. The Toro Rosso driver just behind his teammate Josh, 5th and 6th at the moment. But it's the Ferraris that are impressing the most here. 1st and 2nd. Will on his debut is 2.5 seconds clear of his teammate, who has a 5-second gap back to Softy, thanks to all the battles in the midfield at the start of the race. And Matt, your championship leader, now in 16th position. That gap is going to come down.
To Daniel Flosser.
I apologise again.
And Gene.
Although
Yeah,
to be
it's
fair,
fancy. Well, I think what I'll have a look back at my footage to see what happened, but like straight inside, I think I ran wide, and then at the front corner he went wide, and I recovered, and we just both met. But could be seen differently from his angle, so I'll have a look at the footage. But I wouldn't be surprised if it is more me. Well, probably certainly is, but.
Martin gets closer and closer to Paul.
So we did have a slight tag, and then I tried to keep it on the road, and then, yeah. It wasn't intentional, not in the slightest, it was just clumsy where it happened.
I don't even think I really messed up match race much, but I did manage to mess up my teammates.
Bye, Jack.
Jack Pierce has had connection issues all week. I said it would cost him tonight, and it has done that. His AI now will take over for the few laps as he tries to get his internet back on again. Martin so close to Paul now. As Matt, at the very back of the grid, takes the fastest lap with a 1:33.7. He's now ahead of Matt. Let's have a look at the tyres.
He's got to be on the Supersoft, because he was on the Hypersoft at the start.
Ultra soft, was it? Was it
Matt has now gone on to the
Ultra,
Supersoft.
Ultra. Yeah, sorry, get me tyres wrong.
So Matt's on the softs.
Super soft.
Super soft.
Super softs. Oh yes, yeah.
Ultra soft,
Right.
super soft, soft.
So confused now because I'm used to the way they do it now in 2019 that I've totally forgot about all hyper softs and
I'll put it this way: he's on the mediums.
super hards.
Paul, Martin and Jamie, a second separates the three of them. Will any of them pit this time around? Will pits from the lead, which means Aiden will stay out. We've got
Soft is
Phil,
pitted out.
James, Mike and Jack who are on the soft, sorry. Everyone else on the super soft. Martin also dives into the pit lane. Get it down to 80 kilometres. We've got 4 drivers so far
Jamie just hit
in
it
the
right
pits.
In the pits.
Has Softy got onto Ultras?
Yeah.
That's early.
Yeah, he's going to run out of tyres.
I mean, obviously I've got to have to follow him in now, but
No, stay out. He's going to run out.
no. I'm still out anyway, but
So Aiden, John, Josh, Paul and Owen, the 5 runners yet to make their stops in this race.
Oh,
we're speeding up me today.
Tyre status.
John has pits on P3. Be interested to see where he comes out. He should come out behind Softy. We're looking at James on Phil here, fighting for the lower points. Points down to 12th here, of course. Both these drivers having made stops, gone on to the soft tyres. They'll be looking to fight their way through the field as John has exited the pit lane and comes out ahead of his teammates, but behind Softy. And oh, what?
What the hell?
Is Phil's car lagged out?
What the hell happened? His car just stopped.
Codemasters.
That's
Literally like a glitch.
That is a glitch. That's been happening ever since F1 2015.
Well,
I've literally got a video on Twitter from like 4 years ago of that.
Codemasters
in
proving.
Cody's we trust.
Cody's showing why they've got the license for F1. Great to see
10-year
their
anniversary.
continued 10-year anniversary of this. 10 years of this. Thank you, Codemasters. We thank you for your great work on Formula 1 games.
I wouldn't say great work, I'd just say continued service.
And so they went into administration. Wow.
Bring back Studio Liverpool. Bring
Yeah,
back
Studio Liverpool, that's
Studio
it,
Liverpool.
All by their original name, Psygnosis.
Was that what it was? Wow, I didn't know that.
But it was still the same studio, just name changes. It's the one with the little owl logo.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, they had it about the same time, including the Studio Liverpool as
Will Murdoch's having a
Codemasters.
superb debut here. He's now chasing Paul. Paul, of course, hasn't pitted yet. But Will putting in a fine drive. 6 seconds clear of his teammate Aiden. Of course, helped. Not helped massively, but helped by the demise of Matt and John as this race. And Paul goes wide. But Murdoch takes the position and takes the benefit of Paul's mistake. Paul struggling on those tyres then. He'll be looking to pit probably this lap. Go on to the Ultra Softs for the final 5 laps of this race. Aiden looking good to make it a Ferrari 1-2. It'll be his best result of the season.
that those softies catching him quick.
But as John has said, Softy is now just 2.5 seconds back. So let's see if Softy...
On the Ultras, though, isn't it?
Oh,
Can
Jesus
split the
God.
Ferraris. Will this
Oh.
be a safety car that could help Paul out, potentially? A VSC or safety car would be a big help to him.
Oh, please, please, please.
James, only the first retirement of this race. Will Paul down to the pit lane? He does. This is the time. Let's see if the Toro Rosso boys can get a quick job done. You can see now mixed strategies throughout the field. Super soft, ultra soft and softs. It's a super soft runner who leads the race. But with Aiden, Softy and John all on quicker tyres behind,
Oh, no,
could
we're not
they
actually
close in
stopped.
on Will? So Paul rejoins then in P8. He's going to come out behind Dan, but he'll be on quicker tyres. Much fresher tyres, 6 laps younger than Dan's. So he'll be chasing down Dan, the first of potential 3 or 4 cars he could catch and pass. 5 laps to go for the American Grand Prix. Jonas, did you sustain any damage in the incident earlier on?
No damage. It was wheel-to-wheel contact. I think where I backed out, I ran wide. Like we had a little touch of wheels, so I ran wide. And as I corrected the car, I think he ran wide to the contact as well. We just both met in the middle again. At least that's what it might have looked like. I'll have a look at the footage if it turns out it's, you know, clear that I forced up and all that. But obviously, I apologise for Matt for the contact. It's not really how you want to tell about it, though, is it?
Paul closing in on Dan. The gap now down to half a second. Will Dan make it hard for him?
You better, Dan.
Let's hope Dan doesn't repeat his lap 1 antics. Let's hope he keeps it clean.
Well, it's for position, so I'm not going to just let him through, but he will get through. He will eventually put this next straight.
We've got Jonas now less than a second off Softy, who himself is catching Aiden. Will Paul go for here on Dan at the final corner? He won't. He'll wait for the DRS, I think. He knows the advantage it gives him. And surely going into turn 1, if he can get it right and the ERS manually used, he will make it easy for him. But Dan defends the inside. Will Paul go left or right? He chooses to go right. He'll look for the cutback. Let's see if he can make it work. Dan goes a little wide and Paul takes the position. Nicely done. Paul into P7.
Nice
Dan
move.
down to 8.
Dan needs to put on the driving line. His braking points are terrible.
I do have the driver line on. My vehicle points are fine.
Who was John or James the engineer for when they got a great result? Weren't you guys be the engineer of someone? Or am I thinking of something
Oh,
else?
James is engineer and us in Germany.
That was the one.
There was the race in Monaco when I got a podium and James was my engineer. at the
That's it.
end. Even though he was still in the race at the time.
Monaco and Mexico next week. 2
I'll be
tracks,
doing
I'm
Monaco.
sure.
Right, the second penalty for Mike Noon.
Mike
I'll
Noon
be
getting
doing
a
that
corner
safety
court
car.
penalty. Very rare you see that in CGP, but it has happened. It has just happened.
I'll do Monaco, but I'll be doing Mexico before.
Much more important matters next Tuesday, Dan. Much
Unless
more
like we
important
get
matters next
smashed like
Tuesday.
4-0 tomorrow.
Or we smash Barca 4-0 tomorrow, yeah. And then
Well. Oh,
Jamie Day's out of the race.
I am hoping Matt makes a few more positions yet, because he was unfairly taken out. So.
Yeah. Agreed.
Matt's putting in a stellar performance to work his way back up to P10 now. 5 seconds off Owen. I like to think he can catch that.
Yeah, well, I'm keeping 50 of this there.
Shout out to Martin and Owen. Biggest movers in this race, 7 positions gained each. And Matt, of course, having lost 8 places due to the contact with John earlier on.
True, no fault of his own.
Through no fault of his own. James, likewise, having lost 12 places, but I didn't see it. But I believe he's hit the back of Dan after Dan made a mistake. Maybe? Is that what happened?
Nope.
He got collected when Dan and Matt made contact on that one. James got the
Dan completely messed up his braking point, took Matt out, and I was.
Oh, so Matt was
Taken
taken
out.
out by both Dan and Jonas. Well,
Yeah.
Well, I
Dan's
didn't
fault.
take him out, I tapped him. He managed to recover. But,
Tapped him.
Yeah, because it wasn't like a
halfway around
takeout.
spinning.
And then you went into the back of me, which is obviously that was my fault.
that
Well,
one's
the
caught.
first one was my fault, but
That one's caught up to Dan. And
the one was costly.
he's increased his
Turn
gap
one
to
was my
Matt.
fault. I clipped the back of Matt and damaged my wing in. So what if that?
Matt's being bullied by everyone tonight.
Yeah. Well, at least I didn't spin Matt or take him out with my contract.
True. Owen on
So
Dan
two, but-
into turn 1 in
I didn't
America.
spin Matt, I recovered Matt.
Could be easy throwing this up the inside. DRS goes very wide though, I think. Oh no, did he? He might have got it just right. Where's Dan on the track? The two of them still side by side. Dan retakes the position. Nicely done from Dan. Oh, and a little too hot on the brakes. And Dan back through to P8, but for how long can he keep this position? 2 laps to go. Owen chasing him down.
Paul's catching me.
Oh. Close enough to Softy, I can mount a last lap attack here.
John is getting close to Softy then. Can Owen get close enough to Dan to make a move into this corner? A little further back this time, 6/10, maybe not. It'll be a late move if he goes from here. He knows he'll have another lap to go, so probably be patient. Fresher tyres. Owen has to fancy his chances if he can keep within a second going into the final lap. Smudge also just 6/10 off Phil, so still a few battles that could happen. Few late moves as Josh picks up a 3-second time penalty, but so fine for Mark and mine is 6 seconds back still.
Car behind, yeah, time penalty, right, got it.
The car behind Jonas has a time penalty, and Owen running wide, losing time, but still close enough to Dan to go for an attack here. Here we go. Sauber versus Mercedes. Ferrari power versus Mercedes. Still though, too far back. Dan, have you kept your ears going or something?
Yeah, Softy just drifted that corner.
I've just been trying to manage it as well as I can.
I struggle to
It's
manage
the
my
fuel
ears.
I'm more worried about right now, to be honest.
Can Jonas put in a late move on Softy to snatch the podium off him? Softy has had no luck this season. Germany on course for a win, only to be denied by a pit lane glitch. On course for a win last time out, but of course picked up damage, tapping Matt's car in Hungary. And it's left Softy without a win so far this season.
Australia.
Sorry, Australia. I
nice
don't know where I got Hungary from. Jonas is just 4/10 back. Will he make a late move on Softy? He has to be careful. He's already got his car a little dirty today. As Mike picks up a 3-second time penalty. As I said, very rare we see that. So, there you go. And Softy defending hard. Jonas getting so close. It's so close between these two.
Oh!
Are we going to see a Verstappen Raikkonen-esque move from
And
Jonas?
here comes Will Murdoch to win on his TGP debut. Well done, Will.
Well done, Will.
That one.
Fantastic drive. And Softy's got a penalty. Softy's got a
with a
penalty.
penalty.
Jonas doesn't have to make the move. Jonas can just sit back. And he almost has the back of Softy, who takes third, but Jonas will inherit third with Softy's penalty. Josh comes home for fifth. Further balance, Dan the man and Owen. Dan has been passed by Owen. Owen's got P8 unless Dan goes for a late move, runs wide. Owen should
Look
have
who's
it.
behind you, Dan.
Matt
We just had a
P10.
brilliant battle then.
Man, Dan pulls over, let Matt through, does he?
Oh,
He
that
does.
was different.
And Matt takes P9. John got the podium then.
Amazing final lap, that was Owen.
So 3 battles we saw, there were overtakes for 3 of them, I think. We're about to see the car smash into another. Thank you,
So
Cody.
he's just thrown 3 points away in the
Oh, Paul's attack at the Force Indies. The Force Indies are merged.
Well, post-race thoughts. What a drive from Murdoch. Absolutely fantastic. Got to feel sorry for Matt and James, who had their races ruined. Hopefully, some better luck. Is that
Well,
a female?
especially Matt, because he's a championship contender. I mean, he was savagely ruined in that race.
It's an all-British podium. Will from Aiden from Jonas.
Alright, I do have footage of the incident, so I'm gonna have a look.
Clap to Will on his win on his debut. That's pretty good going, to say the least.
He's only won because he's related to Rupert and Sky have let him win. I know, actually, Rupert doesn't know Sky now, so...
Live stream, and Dan, you go and say that.
It was a joke. What? What do you mean? It's not offensive.
There's a little bit of will-to-will contact, and then... Yeah. So that was...
Well, your top 10, Will, Aiden, Jonas, Softy and Josh round out the top 5. Martin recovered to 6th. We got Paul, Owen and Matt and Dan completing the top 10. Phil and Smudge taking the final points. And next we're on to Brazil for the second race of the evening. Let's see if Will can make it 2 from 2.
Yeah, if Matt
just a
records
moment.
that, I'm up to it, 'cause, yeah, that wasn't on. And,
Which Tom said straight away.
Yeah.
Owen from 16 to 8 in that race, that was a good drive.
Yeah, I fucked it there.
Language again.
Oh, sorry. God, I'm swearing like a trooper, aren't I?
Good job, Jane.
Do we need to have anyone back? Has anyone departed? We have lost a Williams driver.
Jamie Day left.
Jamie Day has left.
Busy offline, probably. He rage quit at him.
Phil has said that, yeah, he had a glitch where his car just stopped around the corner. He lost all control, lost about 5 seconds, and
Oh, it was
unfortunately you were
obvious.
behind. Yeah. Well then, any moment now the drivers will be readying up as we go to the second race here in Brazil. Great battles at the end. Smudge didn't quite make it past Phil. He said he tried everything, but couldn't get it done. Phil scoring points on his return, but Will taking the most notable of the debut drives. Top spots ahead of Aiden and John. It's a Ferrari one too, by the way. Maybe this Constructors isn't over just yet.
She's where Aiden got his pace from. Rapid.
I think Aiden's just doubled his points total of the year already in that one race. I'll tell you for a bit more rain. Bit more rain, please.
Oh,
I
no,
agree.
no. Not here, not here.
Especially in the race. People last year. Except James don't get punched this time.
Yeah, it rained last year, didn't it? And I had that massive accident into Phil.
Well, let's have a look at the weather.
Has it kicked off? Yeah. No, it hasn't kicked off. Hope Spurs win.
I think Liverpool have a better chance of beating Spurs than Ajax. There's a dry qualifying, by the way. Dry qualifying.
Spurs, Liverpool, Champions League final, Arsenal, Chelsea, Europa League final.
Ooh. Ooh,
Rain in the
imagine.
race.
Rain for the
rain in the
race. Remember last time it rained in Brazil in the TGB League race?
Oh.
Let's
Yeah,
not talk
well-
about that one.
No.
Well, not that one, but
That's a worse advertisement than live streaming John is hitting Matt for title contenders.
It wasn't intentional, jeez.
Quality bound for Jane next race, yeah?
Whoa! Oh, Softy Scott
I'm
almost.
gonna get one. And,
Softy-
yeah.
All the cars
driven into
diving
a
out of the pit
house.
lane. It's a dry qualifying, but they want to get their early laps in. Look at this. All the cars leaving the pit lane.
Basically,
18
if it's
minutes.
reported, yeah, I upped it if it was on me, so can't really defend it from the footage at all.
Nice review camera
we
here.
get it. We get it.
There is do not be alarmed. There is no echo on the stream. You are just hearing it for the 6th time.
do that a lot. I get people at work have a go at me for saying stuff over and over.
Megan.
What did you say, John?
What I said, Dan, was that people at work tend to get annoyed when I do that.
Right.
Well, Dan the Man has won a championship in Brazil before. Let's see a lap of Interlagos on board.
I've lost the championship in Brazil.
He's also
going on.
lost the championship at Brazil.
Oh, I totally missed him.
Let's have a bird's eye view from four-time league champion, 58-time, should be 59-time race winner Dan the Man, who once famously let Jonas through despite Jonas being 208 points back from Dean in the championship.
Actually, it was 68, but
68, 208, same thing.
might as well have been that season.
A championship that you're never going to win. Anyway,
Yeah. Clean sector one from Dan then. Let's see if he can keep it clean throughout the lap. It's a tricky circuit to get right. The one that I certainly struggle with, especially in the final couple of corners. But then I'm shit, so that's probably why.
Don't make me laugh, Dom, please.
Apologies,
Try to do a
Dan the Man.
This corner's horrible with the default setup.
Renault off for 62.
You can commentate. You just made me laugh.
Sorry, I was just making a tweet.
Oh.
Josh Lane with a 107.7, the quickest lap so far. Can Dan, the lap you've just seen, improve on that time? He doesn't. He goes half a second back, but it's a good first lap to set on the super soft tyres as Smudge slots in behind in third. Of course, Solanes, who wasn't able to make tonight, he got his first ever race win at Brazil. A circuit of first. Jose picked up his first win in TGB1 at Interlagos.
There's cards off everywhere, Jesus Christ.
Scania Taro also won too. So F1 news, I saw an article today on motorsport.com that apparently Holland might be returning to the calendar, and I think if that does happen, that would be great. You guys are a fan of, I think it was Zandvoort, was it? The track that was rumoured to be... Yeah. You guys are a fan of Zandvoort to race on?
Replacing the Spanish Grand Prix as well.
Ooh, replacing Spain.
According to Joe Say Salad, whatever.
Joe Salad from motorsport.com, is it?
Not a big fan of salad myself, to be honest with you.
Nothing wrong with a good steak. Like the steak pie I had for dinner.
Can't personally have... Let's have a look now. Let's go on Google. New tab, Zandvoort. Let's have a look at this circuit. Can't say I've seen it
Oh yeah, Dom,
myself.
seeing as you're in here, do you need any commentary for the Kimi stuff?
I don't know, to be honest. I might have it all. I'll have to have a look. I'll have a check. Trying to think, to be honest.
And Joe Saywood reported, didn't he, today, that the British Grand Prix had signed a 3-year deal and then they denied it.
Ah, so we could be looking at 22
they sign
races next year then? 23
Yeah,
races?
the Italian Grand Prix have signed a 5-year deal as well.
Normally it's 5 years, Dan, not 3.
Yeah, but that's what Joe Saywood was reporting through. And so
Not
was
salad,
Mark
is it?
Hughes, and then it got denied.
Well, I wouldn't
But,
trust Joe Salad if I were you. Joe Salad reported that Crofty was going to be leaving Sky.
And,
Hilton
people in the
Hotel.
bedrooms are more reliable, in my opinion.
He's reliable.
I know he is, yeah, but it's just a joke at these bedroom comments.
Lovely camera angles here as we watch James, the most successful driver in TGP history. 6 championships, 69 race wins, I believe. But not the all-time pole sitter, Dan the Man, who has the most poles in TGB1 history.
I
I
can't
can't believe
qualify.
I've still got that record.
You have 76 poles, which is 22 more than any other driver, and that second driver is Jonas.
What?
Jonas is second on the all-time list 22 back from Dan. Fancy getting 22 wins over the next... Sorry, 22 poles over the next 22 races, Jonas?
I'll try, but...
Have you had one at all this season?
Nope.
Well, I think Dan's record is safe for now.
What race?
I can't
James
believe
is
I've got that.
on 45, 31 behind. So, Dan the Man is the Dan the Man is the Ayrton Senna or Lewis Hamilton of qualifying,
And he's the battle of races.
and the battle of races.
Well, in recent time, isn't it?
I would say Dan's more Kevin Magnussen, to be honest.
Oh shit, I'm in roll for you, mode. What's going on at like turn 10? There's like 3 cars together. That's weird.
Well,
Mercedes off the track.
currently a Toyota 1-2. This is a circuit that Paul does really well at. Currently second quickest. Will is down in P13, but yet to set a respectable lap time. Expect him to go higher up in the coming minutes. Paul McGee, I believe, is going to... Is he starting a lap or finishing? I think he might be starting a lap. So Paul then.
Yes, I've got the worst last sector of everyone but Mike. Literally everyone has done a 16.5 except for Dan, who's done a 15.6. Will's done a 16.7 but not representative. Mike's done a 16.7, again not representative. Mine is a 16.7 and actually representative, so oh dear.
That was a deliberate crash. I saw it.
You crashed.
Smudge.
Will Murdoch goes
Oh,
quick as
okay.
2 tenths faster than Josh. And the Ferrari driver back on top.
Just going to say, I think there'd be more than a smudge on the Haas after that one.
Wow. Only 2 tenths of the gap between the top 4 in qualifying. Martin, Paul, Josh and Will so close. Of course, it's such a short circuit around here, 1 minute 7. Is Paul going to abandon this lap? He does. He dives into the pit lane. He'll go for new tyres. Martin, I think, are you on an out lap or an in lap?
In that.
Let's not spectate Martin then.
Oh,
Apologies. Phil is currently a tenth quicker on his own lap, which would put him top 6 for now. Let's see if he can find the
What's the
time in the
quickest lap
final
at the minute?
corner.
177.
107.521 from Will Murdoch.
Blimey.
Phil goes 5th. He displaces Matt and Softy. Johners down in P12, yet to set a proper lap time. Johners, is that the best you can do?
No, I did that on the harder tyres.
Right, let's get the tyres on. Let's have a look at them.
Just me and Gene and the sauce. Have a nice and super.
James and Johners are on the softs, but they are all now on the super soft tyres. Your championship leader, Matt, having lost 11 points to Johners in the last race. Currently down in P6, but on a lap. Up the hill now. Round the final corner. DRS Open, the long stretch to the finish, and he crosses the line and goes quickest. 400ths faster than Will. Matt goes back to the top. A new benchmark of 107.481.
Jesus Christ.
What? No.
Championship lead is currently 24 points in Matt's favour. However, Force India are now your new leaders for the first time this season in the Constructors. They got Martin and Johners, who famously, I think, won their first Constructors together, having failed to win a race
Joking, man.
in all that season. What's happened to Dan the Man?
I just improved by 2 tenths, and I went purple sector 1, and I'm still 9th. My God, it was so close.
It's very close.
4:10 separate the top 9 here in qualifying.
Oh my god.
You look at it between 3rd and 6th, we're all done on 107.7.
Me one or 1084.
Still 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in this session, and it's currently Matt who is quickest, but expect Will to respond. Except the Toro Rosso to go back out again. All these drivers will have one more run. We can see Softy, I think, just finishing his. And he's lost it. He's lost it at the final corner, and that'll be him now, surely diving into the pit lane. The gaps are so marginal, surely. With a mistake like that, you're not going to find the time to improve on your position. Still behind his teammate at the moment. Softy back into the pit lane. Currently 8th, just 3/10 off pole. Are you preparing for a lap down?
James?
Yeah, I am, I know.
I might give James a bit of a toe here though.
Will James say similar comments to Raikkonen after he got a toe from one of his... Was it Giovinazzi got a toe off?
Oh
or was
yeah, I
it...
heard that.
I would have done fucking better on my own. James goes 4th. He would not have done better on his own. Wow, James 4th, just 800s off the pole time.
Thank you, Dan. I did get purple last sector, so that definitely helped.
Oh. Yeah, Giovinazzi got
Josh goes
purple last
second.
sector, didn't he?
100th off pole. These gaps are incredible. Matt 107.481 the quickers. Josh 100th off. Murdoch 400th off. James 800th off. And Jonas goes into 5th, 2/10 off. 4/10 between the top 10 at the moment. These gaps are incredible. But I suspect that Will might be about to go top and maybe knock everyone down a place. That's currently ahead.
Oh my
Let's
god, this
see.
is mad.
Of course, a wet race as well in store. Is it a full wet race for the whole race, or is it going to go dry to wet, wet to dry?
Well, it says after 45 minutes dry, so
It will dry up.
it might dry up towards the end.
Wow. Let's see how Will's sector 2 time is.
Milan builds to enter the circuit at any point.
If Will can hook up this final corner, we're about to see a new pole sitter. He's a 10th quicker, which will put him into first, knock everyone down. Of course, he's only 400th off the quickest time. I suspect we're going to see a new pole time from Will.
Breaking board in the pit lane.
It's a 107.3, and Will Murdoch is your new leader at the front. But still, 6/10 between everyone. And Will will now rush back to the pit lane to try to get some new tyres for a final run. Jonas, I suspect, will be diving into the pit lane. Jonas and Jack both rushing back to get new tyres.
I was moving out of the way because I knew Jack was going to dive in.
All the drivers then pitting for new tyres. We are going to get one final run, one final shootout. Half a second between the top 10. Pole could go to anyone. Well, the first lap setter is going to be James, the first out onto the track, I believe. Oh no, maybe there are some cars ahead. But
The bar does on the lap, I think.
Phil and Softy, currently only a few tenths back, find themselves on the 5th row of the grid. Softy in fact goes 8th now, he improves, but only goes 8th, then that's him done. So Softy,
Doesn't like it. Doesn't
Me-
like it.
the Rebel drivers struggling at Brazil, they're starting 8th and 10th, who were the pre-season constructors' favourites going into this season. So then, Josh and James preparing to start their final laps. Will, Matt, John and Aidan will all follow. Martin goes 7th. Is that his lap time now done? Will Martin give a toe to any of his friends? We've seen how tight the margins are here. If Martin's done, maybe we'll see the toe. So maybe his teammate or James or possibly Will Murdoch if he wants to give Will even bigger of an advantage.
My middle sector is awful. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, I do know what I'm doing wrong, actually.
I wish I knew what I was doing wrong.
Oh, I might do a dummy start here and let everyone go past.
Right, I'll be the middle.
When did I do dangerous driving then?
Vettel, you silly, silly man, Sebastian
Russell on
Vettel.
track.
We speak after, we speak after. Aiden only 1,000th off Martin, and if Martin's not going to get another lap in, Aiden's got a chance to go ahead. The Red Bull's starting on the 5th row at best at the moment. Dan, Mike and Jack will all look to knock them down. Mike currently 9:11 off the pole time.
Oh shit. Sorry, Dan.
I'm gonna drag him 60.
We'll see if James can improve then on his current P4. He's currently just 2/10 off the pole time. Can James improve on that 4th position? He goes, he stays 4th, he doesn't. He didn't find the time.
There's a lot of cars up at the last
Now
corner.
Paul is giving his teammate a tow. Let's see if it works for Josh. Josh currently in P3, getting a beautiful tow here off Paul, who is 5th himself. Paul dives into the pit lane. Josh gets the advantage, and let's see if it works for him. Does he improve on 3rd? He goes 2nd. Just 800ths off, and Matt stays 3rd. Oh, that's Matt. I think Matt's starting a lap. Apologies. Can, the McLaren driver, the championship leader. Jonas has fucked it. P6 might be his best position. Paul no higher than 5th at the moment. James looking good in 4th still. Drivers behind making mistakes. It could be about the top 3. I'm not sure Josh will get another lap and he'll save the tyres surely. But let's see if McInerney. Mark goes 4th. Fantastic lap from him. He displaces James to 5th. Can Matt find the time he needs? He's just 1/10 off the pole time. He does not have the advantage of a slipstream. 107.369 is the time to beat for Will. Does Matt find the time to go pole? He does. He goes a 10th quicker.
Right there.
What a lap. How does Will now respond? Matt with a
For
107.2.
fuck's sake! What is he doing sitting there on the racing line?
Let's see if Will can improve. Can he knock?
Well, there's a 10th down, he's best in the middle sector, so I think it's unlikely.
Looking good for Matt then. Let's see where he goes. He does. He stays 2nd, and Matt takes pole position, a marker from the championship leader. He wants his P1 back. He is not going to let the new boy come in and take it off him so easily.
I was purple sector 1 again. But blue the 2nd sector, 11th place.
You like Arsene Wenger with
1-0 to
Bonnie
Ajax.
sign.
1-0 to Ajax. Oh god.
They're at Tottenham's ground, aren't they, as well?
Yeah, it's left an away goal.
Yeesh.
Tottenham won't win in Ajax, I don't think.
No.
I think Tottenham's still going to get a goal or 2 in this game. Don't think that's over yet just yet.
Awful middle sector. 34.9 middle sector, that's horrific.
So in the end it was just over half a 10th that separated the top 10 in qualifying. A sport where margins are so tight, especially at a circuit like Interlagos. But we're now going into the race, and if it wasn't tight enough, we suspect a bit of rain might be in the skies, and you can see it now. We think it might be an intermediate start. Doesn't
They
look
had a
too
VAR
wet.
check as well.
He thought it was offside. It
Oh,
wasn't.
it's going to dry up as well. It's drying up.
Oh, the last clap, the last like little rain symbol is dry, so it'll be at the very, very, very end. Probably.
I'll have a puncture by then, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, tyres won't last that long.
Of course they will.
The Eaters are going to last all the way. Do you think?
They did for last season. Well, for most drivers.
Oh yeah, I was off at the first lap.
Here we go then. The rain is in the air. We're into Lagos, the second race of the night, the 13th round of the season. Lights out, away we go. Matt gets a sluggish start in these tricky conditions. Will looking to get up the inside, but very slimy. And is he going to do it? I think he might. Josh is looking very racy just behind the two of them, and Matt, though, for now, keeps the lead. Josh stays out of trouble. Matt takes the advantage for now, but Will and Josh still in their positions they started. Martin into P4, back ahead of his teammate, and look at this, Will going for a move on Matt.
Phil's hit the wall.
A chance for Will to take the lead already, up the inside. If he makes this stick, that'll be brilliant. He goes up, Matt runs out of room, and Will takes over at the front. Fantastic find from these two, super clean action at the front. Great to see. And now Josh looking to join in on the fight. You can see Jack's the first casualty from this race. Will that be a safety car? Of course, any safety car VSC that slows down the race will help the chances of the race drying up even quicker at the end. But look at this, Will, very slimy. Matt and Josh, this is a brilliant view. Brilliant camera angle this, as you can see all the cars. All 14 of them now. Racing for position, but it's Will from Matt, from Josh, Martin in 4th, James 5th, Aiden 6th. Paul, Jonas, Mike and Softy rounding out the top 10. Dan down at 14th. What happened to you, Dan?
I just thought I'd take it easy, and Jack got alongside me, sort of pushed me on the gas, and then crashed on the next corner.
Well, Jack prone to the incident or two. Took himself out, and is the first casualty from this race. But you can see how tight it is just at the front still. We've got Matt and Will just half a second between them, but battles throughout the field. Paul looking racy behind Aiden, the two Scots. There's about 6 seconds separating the entire field at the moment, so pretty close. Will from Matt, from Josh, Martin, James and Aiden, still your top 6. We are expecting it to dry out around lap 14-15. We could see a final stint on dry tyres. Drivers making split calls, which is what you want to see in changeable conditions. But can Matt keep with Will? He got the pole, but can he get back ahead of the Ferrari driver who's come in, won his first race and sent a message to the current championship leader that I am coming for you. Maybe not this season, but next season,
There's about
watch
10
your
more
back.
minutes of this rain, said the team radio.
10 minutes of rain, so do these drivers just stay out for as long as they can to around lap 11 or 12? Is it worth the risk? Do they pit for new Inters? I think Inters will be fine through the whole race anyway, so they should be okay. But it's when it gets to lap 15 or 16, is it dry enough for drivers, or do you stick with Inters for 3 more laps?
There's already blue sky starting to improve, right?
Let's go on board with Aiden and James. 3 tenths between them. James currently P5. We've seen him have some great races
What is Mike doing?
over the years. Mike's got himself a time penalty. John is getting annoyed.
No, the arrow thing came up, like, I'm halfway through the corner, so there's an arrow on the right where I'm on the edge of the track. It's fantastic.
I suspect Mike missed his braking point, went wide, and is slowed down. Well, we can
but
see
he
now.
didn't exactly slow down because he's run the back of me.
James himself closing up on Martin, looking to take P4 from him. Then there's a 2-second gap to the front 3. The front 3 also close, 2 seconds between them, but then there's a little bit of a break. Back to 4th and 5th.
James, please tell me when you're going to press.
Biggest movers from this race have been Smudge, Owen and Mike, having gained 3 places each. And of course Phil, the biggest loser, lost 4 positions. Phil takes another fastest lap of 1:17.9 to increase the gap to 9/10 of a second. It's that close. Only now, for the first time in this race, do we see the lead. Just over a second, as I say that, it's back down to 8 tenths now. So very close between the front 2, and Josh sticking with them, knowing that he has a chance to take the race win, which will be a second win of the season, having got his first win of his career last time out. But James getting very close to Martin now. Not sure if these have been former teammates before. Possibly.
No.
No, never?
Nope.
Well, possible future teammates at one day, fighting for 4th and 5th. And Aiden, look at that, right behind the pair of them. The Ferrari driver getting his best result of the season, 2nd place in America. so close. The margin's so small here. Ten seconds covering the top 10 as they start the 5th lap of this race. Is James close enough to Martin to make a move for P4? How are the tyres lasting, you guys? Are they alright?
Yeah, they feel okay, so.
They feel okay.
Yeah. I think this is the closest I've seen Martin and James. Train starts to queue behind Martin. You can see all the drivers. Oh, James loses it! James loses it, and Aiden's an unfortunate casualty. James lost it. I think on the grass or the curb, maybe. And will that bring out a safety car? James is out. Aiden, I think will keep going. But disaster there for James. I think just lost it on the grass or maybe the curb.
Aiden's out.
I'll tell you who is causing a queue here. Smudge with me and Owen.
Oh, he's dead off there.
Smudge, Owen, Dan. 3 cars, less than a second between them. Dan and Owen looking to get through.
It's because you just have to, like, take a big deep breath before you try and make an overtake on Smudge.
Dan's are not the views for TDP series. They are the views for Dan the Man.
My personal views.
Well, let's see if Dan's views are right. Dan goes up the inside of Smudge. Will he go for it? Sorry, this is Owen on Smudge. Owen takes the position. Nicely done. P9 is his.
That was very nice.
Owen into P9. 2 extra points currently for him. And now Dan looks to get through as well. On Smudge. Can he make a stick? The gap at the front is still just over a second. 1.2 is the gap.
There we go. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him edging to the left.
Dan wants that move, and Smudge turns in a little too early there. Not what you would expect there. But look at that. Dan the Man takes the position though. Has he for now? Just about with Dan the Man. Great move. P10. Smudge demoted to 11th. And the less said of that, I think the better. On back to Paul now. P5.
Oh, to see. Look, what an absolute idiot this guy is. I mean, come on. He's just trying to get back at me. He just knocked me. Oh my god.
Martin now under pressure from Paul. Got a bit of breathing space after James and
I've
Aidan.
got 20 incidents with him in this season.
John is
Not the
just
views of
behind
CGP
Paul.
series.
No.
Sorry.
What?
Crow of the season. Well, this is a good chance for Gene to get past on Paul. Paul, a circuit he really likes here, Brazil. Jonas needs to keep it clean. Can he get ahead of Paul? Can't quite do it there. But he's teasing the Toro Rosso driver. He can see his teammate starting to shoot off ahead.
Damn it.
But look at that. The front 2 of Will and Matt. Superb pace from the pair of them. They're staying in the exact same gap pretty much. A second and a 1.3 seconds the gap as Mike and Softy racing wheel to wheel. And Mike loses it on the grass and hits the wall, and into the wall he goes.
Yeah,
Mike
Jane did as
Noon.
well.
He got away with it.
Mike Noon on the grass. It's so slippy out there, and you can't afford to be doing that. And now that's a disaster. And now Gene had the same thing apparently. And you can see Softy suddenly from defending from Mike is now racing Jonas for P6. Jonas knows his tail rival, who he had taken 11 points out of in the last race,
Weather report.
is now in second. The weather. What are we hearing? What's Jeff saying?
5 or 10 minutes before the drive's up.
So we will see a better dry at the end of the race. Will the drivers choose to stay out in inters or risk it and pit for drivers? Or maybe the bigger risk is staying out on the inters if the track becomes bone dry. No drivers have made stops yet. They will wait for the rain to quieten down a bit.
tyres, Martin?
I'll turn him out.
And John.
Shit. Rears are shit.
Yeah, my rears aren't
Rears are
good.
29 and 31.
Oh, okay, wow, my rears aren't as bad as that.
Mine are 35 and 37.
Oh my god. I thought mine were bad.
It's like absolute ice at turn 5.
Paul hunting down Martin. Softy hunting down John. Dan and Owen, a second between those two. There's lots of gaps, lots of tight margins still between these drivers. Paul currently the closest of these, so let's go on board of Paul as he chases down Martin for P5. Paul having, of course, got 7th place finish just behind Martin in America. This time will want to be ahead of the Force India driver, but it's Ferrari who still have their driver out front. Will with another fastest lap, but still can't quite pull the gap to Matt.
Oh, Owen just nearly lost it.
Will's taking fastest lap after fastest lap,
Yeah,
but is
Josh
only
in the pits.
1.4 clear, and Josh is into the pits, the first of the runners. Let's see what tyres he goes on to. Surely it's not any dry
He's not
tyres.
going to put dries on, sure.
New inters.
Enters again.
I thought maybe the drivers would do just no stops if it stays wet, but Josh choosing to go to intermediate tyres, maybe that could prove crucial coming into the race if it does dry out, but not enough for the dry tyres, and he's got much quicker and fresher intermediate tyres. Let's see how that develops. He will come out, I think, just ahead of Phil. It's going to be close. It is going to be close, and Josh, in fact, may be overtaken here. He can't afford to lose this place. Phil,
Almost off. Oh.
Yeah, it means Softy butting off the corner before as well. It's really bad.
really greasy out there. These drivers starting to struggle, and maybe Josh has made the right call here. Smudge is now right back on Owen. In fact, Dan's ahead of Owen. So Dan's got through.
Yeah. Owen went had the big moments, and then I tried to get, and then we were side by side turn 1 and went PB.
Well, this is the closest battle on the track at the moment. Josh is 6 seconds back, so has clean air for now. But if he does catch back on the back of these three, I don't expect these three are going to pit. So Josh has a bit of work to do. And of course, Smudge not the easiest driver to overtake apparently. Not the views of TGP series.
All in.
Oh, Owen's lost it! He's binned it! Owen's out, the 5th casualty from this race. Again, it's proving to be so greasy, this circuit, and Owen is out of this race. Paul also pitting then for new intermediate tyres. So maybe Josh has relayed back some information. And Owen looked a bit of a wally with that one. But again, not the views of TGP series.
What? I just said weather reports, and it just said we'll move the wing to a... Oh my god.
Let's guess it's going to dry out fairly soon then.
Weather report, lads.
Jeff struggling to hear Dan's Scouse accent. He thinks Dan is asking...
Try vehicle condition.
He doesn't think it's worth doing it yet, like, but Jeff has been prone to...
Jeff has been prone to making the odd mistake over his several years. I say bring back, who was it? Was it Dave or Rob from F1 2010?
Rob.
Rob, bring back Rob. Wasn't actually Rob Smedley, was it?
Wow, how is Will still setting fastest lap? That's brilliant.
Will setting fastest lap after fastest lap, yet his gap is still 1.8 seconds. The yellow flag is out in sector 2 and 3. Smudge has spun it, and is that going to be another casualty? It's not even starting to dry up yet.
The top two are over 10 seconds clear of now, Sarah and the lead they're on.
Phil now looking to get through on Smudge, which he does get through quite easily. Smudge struggling. Is he going to pit for new tyres? He does.
The grip's returned.
And good news for Paul, who takes back the position.
Rain stopped.
The rain has stopped. Bone dry out there now. You can see, look at that. The track already starting to dry up as well. So will or Matt choose to pit this time, or is it too early? You've got to ask, why did Paul and Josh pit for new intermediate tyres? Both Toro Rosso drivers were in the top 5, and all that's done is helped out Force India. And Dan the man, a big gainer from that into 6th now. But if it's drying out, and these drivers have to pit for new dries, then Toro Rosso have made a blunder. Will Murdoch's gone AI. Will Murdoch's gone AI. Will Murdoch went AI, and Matt's just taken a second out of him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if maybe Will was replying to a message on PSN or asking someone for some advice.
Maybe he was checking race director or something.
Matt takes the fastest lap. The gap down to 4/10 now. Suddenly, we have a fight at the front. The gap has been no more than 2 seconds all race between these two. And now at under a second, and possibly DRS coming into play soon, we have a real fight on our hands here.
DRS hasn't been enabled yet, so...
I think this is bad news for... If it doesn't dry out completely, maybe Josh and Paul still have a chance here. Clawing back
It's
some
got
positions.
to rain hard, or Hamilton isn't going to get the champion right now.
It's got to rain hard, or Hamilton's not going to win the championship.
Right, so Josh took 1.2 out of Martin the last lap. That won't be enough to catch him at that rate.
Good spot from James. The gap now 5 seconds to Dan. 5.5. Paul is right on Phil, I believe. Let's see if Paul can get through anytime soon. You can see the advantage Paul has on these fresher tyres, but was it worth pitting for new tyres when he found himself in P5? And of course, with Josh pitting, he was actually up to P4. A second is the gap still between the top two. Look how dry it is out there now. You can see still a bit of rain coming from Phil Boswell's tyres.
A clear dry line, but you know what colours are like.
Paul goes for the move. Lovely stuff up the inside. And Paul into P8. The Toro Rosso driver taking the place, but Phil isn't giving up just yet.
Pitched in for dries.
John's in. Okay. This is a crucial move for the championship, as a famous commentator once said. On to the Super Softs. Huge risk. James, is it going to work?
I don't think so.
Probably not, knowing it.
Well, you're going to come out right ahead of Paul and Phil. This is not the position you want to be coming out on, especially
he spotted the pit lane!
Jonathan spotted the pit lane!
He spotted the pit lane to reset
Oh,
the track!
I can't believe I went off Jonas. I'm so sorry.
I've never seen that in TGP history.
We cut away from Jonas just as he was about to lose it, and he lost it and respawned onto the track.
I have the footage. I have the footage.
Oh my god, I'm not sure Jonas will want to watch that again, but the risk is not paid off.
That's almost as embarrassing.
Yeah,
as one
Jane's
of
front
them.
wing is damaged.
Championship second place. Gene crashed on pit exit in the pit lane and now has to pit for new tyres, and he's lost it. He's round. I don't believe it.
Felipe Massa and Lewis Hamilton all rolled into one. On the pit exit.
We speak after. Well, good news for Jonas is Smudge has just binned it. Jonas down to P9. And wow, is this a bit of karma from the karma gods after the hit with Matt in America? Not the views of TGP series.
Oh, I'm never going to live that down.
So the top two still on intermediate tyres. In fact, they're all on intermediates apart from Jonas. Jonas, are you still going to pit for new winters? Or are you going to go for another set of dries again? He's not going to tell us.
Can't be too far away now from Jack. I can't believe DRS has been enabled yet.
Will or Matt take the risk?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to gamble again.
So is the gamble going back onto winters or going onto new? He goes back onto super softs. But he's such a gap behind. In fact, he's going to be lapped. Jonas is lapped. Jonas gets lapped by Will and Matt.
Oh, Will's still doing fastest laps. I think the tyres are still fine.
I mean, the track's obviously
Matt's made a
drier, but
mistake.
I can't even set faster laps.
I would, just so you know, I wasn't even, I had everything switched down when I came out the pit that first time. You know.
Well, 4 laps to go. Surely you'd have to pit this lap and hope to gain back about 8 seconds a lap on the dry tyres. And I'm not sure at this current rate of track conversion that you're going to gain 8 seconds a lap on the dry tyres over the intermediate.
Gene's almost ice spun. He's off.
Gene's off. He's lost it again. Comedy hour with Gene. The force at India. We have some more damage.
John, is it pronounced?
On Dave.
John, is it pronounced Gene or McGonagall?
Not sure I understand that one, but
not the views of TGP.
not the views of TGP series, of course.
Eugene, that's not the views of TGP series either.
John has exceeded track limits. We've got to move her. Matt, Will pits.
This race.
Matt also dives into pit lane. Both the front two are going for it. Will Martin then stay out and risk it, or is it just too dry now? It's 3 laps to go.
No, get in more. Get in.
I think because Martin's 16 seconds back, he has to pit.
Anyway, yeah.
I got a time penalty for moving out of the way of the lapped cars for the cars that had lapped up.
Both drivers going on to the super softs. So Martin
No, this is
does
gonna be
pit.
interesting.
Martin stays out. Martin took the risk. He stayed out. Surely
Yeah,
with the
missed out
gap that
as
it
well.
was to the top two, will he take the lead? He will take the
Decent
lead. Will still ahead of Matt, but with 3 laps to go now.
Very tentative coming out of
This
the pits.
is
I have to
very
say.
interesting. Martin then takes
Red
over
Bull,
the front.
Who's the Red Bull? Softy's still going as well.
Softy's got 3 on Matt, but Will on now the super soft tyres. Can he claw back the time? Is it dry enough? He's struggling. He's struggling.
He's gaining. Mark's pulling away.
Do it.
But is it going to be dry enough? Mort needs Softy to get through on Will. Will
Mark's pulled a
struggling.
second and a half. Mark's pulled a second and a half. Matt's struggling as
The
well.
tyres are going to come. Softy goes for the move.
Top's gonna
Very
pass him.
impatient.
Oh, and he nearly spun.
And Matt and
God.
Will, who have made the pit stop for dry tyres, are struggling.
Oh my god.
Has Martin
Why
and
did Matt
Softy
do
by
that?
staying out.
Why did Matt do that? He did not. He's the championship leader. He just needed to stay out. He would have won the race.
Well, he would have got a podium. He would have got a
Dan's about to
podium.
pass him. Yeah.
But now
Dan's
the
about to
time's
put
going
the
to come
inside.
back to Will and Matt. Dan passes Matt for P4. Matt and Will are
Look at Will.
struggling.
He's sliding on the straight. He got no
It's too
grip.
wet. It's still too wet.
It's still too wet. Matt followed Will in, and now Will needs the tyres to turn. He's
Unbelievably,
still.
Dan's head for a podium.
This isn't
Oh
over.
my
It's
God,
still
don't worry,
7 seconds to the
Oh,
front.
my God,
Surely.
podium.
If it dries
Surely they
up
should have
this
seen me
lap,
crash in the pit lane.
if it dries up enough this lap, I think Will can still pull the time back on Martin if it gets proper dry. But now Dan has a
It's
chance
too
to pass
wet.
Will.
Middle sector's too
It's
wet.
too
I
wet.
promise, spun again.
And Matt almost
Dan's
loses
right
in the
behind.
background. Matt did lose it. And he's been passed by Josh, who of course pitted for new intermediates. So Josh is working himself. The man nearly collected with him. Isn't brilliant? Martin's going to take a win as
Oh,
things
look at Josh
stand.
Gaynor.
Dan tries the same corner that Softy made the move on Will. Look at Josh also behind the pair of them. Josh goes for the move, needs to be careful, needs to be patient. He can sense the podium, he can smell it, he can see it, but he's got to be careful. Dan's
He's
on the same
fresh
tyres.
inters. Well, fresher inters as well than me.
Wait, what
Will
lap is it?
has thrown away the win, not
Oh,
really
look at
through a
that.
fault of his own, but by a tactical decision. Dan takes over in P3 and now Josh right with him. These two on intermediate tyres, but Josh on much faster tyres goes up the inside of the final corner. They bang wheels. We're not getting a great angle of this, I'm afraid, but Dan
the
has
traction.
been passed. I think needs to keep it clean. They're fighting for a podium here. They need to be careful. But Martin on the last lap has a 4-second lead. Dan and Josh need to be careful. Dan almost goes for the inside, but Josh keeps that line. Dan will then try to sweep round.
I can't fight that. Tyres up.
Matt down in 6th, and John is only 3 places back now from his title rival. He would have gained points after tonight.
Oh, I'm going to have a run.
Dan's going to have a run. Maybe the podium's not over yet. We're going to cut back to the front anytime soon, but we need to stick with this. This is the battle for the podium. Josh in P3, Dan fighting hard, a 10th between them. James, give me a shout when Martin's at the final corner or approaching the
I will.
finish line. We need to get this. 2 new winners
on.
for this season.
Will's coming back. Will's coming back. Oh, is he?
Oh,
Nice.
God.
That's a bit of time.
Paul's just got past Matt for P6, so Matt's lost another place. John is only 2 places behind his title rival. It was looking so good for Matt, and now it's gone, and Softy's only 3
Right,
seconds back from
Martin's
Martin.
in, John's out.
Oh, no.
Dan goes wide, and that's probably it.
Oh.
Maybe Will can pull back the time, but here we go. Martin in the Force India is going to win
second.
the Brazilian
Well,
Grand
Second
Prix.
successive win around Interlagos.
What a drive for
Get
Martin
in.
to win in Brazil.
Martin,
Softy takes second.
They took my bait. They took my bait.
Paul is all over Will. Can he snatch P5 on the line? He's gaining, he's gaining. Will he get the move in time? Is
I don't
Duras
think so.
deployed? He'll go
I
to
don't
the
think
right,
so.
will he? And he's not going to do it.
No.
He takes P6, but it was 400ths of a second. And if Phil could catch Matt, he can't. Matt's finished. Matt's got a 3-second penalty. But look at that. What a race. What a conclusion to the Brazilian
Wow.
Grand Prix.
Oh,
Will and
John
Matt.
spinning again.
Will and Matt in a league of their own suddenly made the pit stop for dry tyres. Excuse me, for dry tyres. It was not the right call. And instead, Martin picked up the win. James asked Martin to pit. So good job, Martin didn't listen. Martin stays out and takes the win. Wow, what a drive. What a weird decision from the front two. Not the views of TGP series.
That was weird.
But it did look very dry though. But
DRS had been
DRS
enabled.
was never
Matt had-
enabled.
Matt-
Yeah.
Why Matt pitted, I don't understand. Because he's the championship leader. He did not need to take the risk. He would have won the race easily. If he not pitted.
John
He's
is the
thrown
last
away
one
well.
to cross the line. Takes P9, only loses 4 points to his championship leader.
Softy's really getting tonight. I think I've had him there.
Well, after the first 13 races, we've had 8 winners now. So 8 winners from 13 races. In fact, that's 5 different winners in a row. Matt, Bullet and Josh haven't taken the 3 before tonight. But Martin is your 8th winner of the season. Here at Brazil, there's still 8 more rounds to go. But what a drive for Martin on the top step, ahead of Softy and Josh.
Great race.
That free-stop strategy, it got me a few points.
Well, if Barry was here, I wonder who would be the Barry Baldwin bonus point for driver of the day. I think Mark Diver has to take driver of the day for Brazil, even though Matt and Will were so excellent in the first half of the race. The decision to
play
stay
that?
out.
I give it to Daniel Fawcett, 11-4.
Oh, excellent shout. Down the man.
Right.
P4. Fantastic.
I thank you. Although I was sort of fortunate, but
Dan,
He made the
We
right call
take
staying
them.
out on the track.
we take them when they come. In fact, Josh, fair play, made the pit stop. I said it maybe it was a bit confusing of a stop, but he did finish third. I think
Yeah.
maybe he would have actually won
In
the
the
race had he
end,
stayed
yeah.
out.
Josh.
Yeah, but he would have won had he stayed out.
Yeah, he was
that's
a...
true. Yeah, that's true.
We will never know. Well, a fantastic night in the championship. The championship leaders come down after tonight's 2 races. We're back
Think
next
Softy
week
be
for
second now.
Monaco and Mexico. Good night from me.